Hello, good evening. Thank you so much for coming along tonight. My name's Tim. Welcome, and welcome to Close Up and Personal. I'm a close-up magician, usually. I do close-up magic every Thursday night at a lovely pub in Edinburgh, The Joker and the Thief. And at least once every night, someone asks, how did you become a magician? Well, I don't know, I thought everybody knew this, but it's a common story. It was a magic set for Christmas. When I was a child. It's a very common story among magicians. But in my case, there were also some more and unusual influences, which I would like to share with you this evening. I've always loved magic and the supernatural. I loved horror movies since I was a child, the attractive thrill of fear. I loved monsters, Frankenstein, the werewolf, vampires, and of course, vampires have magical powers. They can become invisible. And they can predict the future. Months ago, when I was preparing this show, I had a premonition, a vision, if you like, that someone here tonight would play an important role in my future. It was indistinct, but I noted some things down. So, and what better way to make an important decision than with the toss of a coin. So would you all be up for joining me in a game? Yeah. Wonderful, excellent, woo. Exciting. I am going to need someone to help me out. Sir, what is your name? Craig. Don't worry yet. I would like you to point to someone else in the audience. And we don't know each other, right? No, so would you point to someone else in the audience?
Can I go for that lady avoiding eye contact right there?
Good choice. What is your name?
Bailey.
Sorry?
Bailey.
Bailing?
Bailey.
Bailey, wonderful. Bailey, would you help me out? Join me. A round of applause for Bailey. Bailey, you're going to get a name tag here. You're going to get a name tag. It's more for me than you. You'll see why.
All right.
Okay, Bailey, just over here, please. So, Bailey, you're going to assist me.
Okay.
And as my assistant, part of your job is to keep me honest. Okay? No small task. No small task. So, Bailey, I've got this, and I've got this for you as well. This is also part of your job. You're going to need to keep this safe. Okay. That is an envelope. And would you have a look? It is a sealed envelope. Mm-hmm. Yes? Yes. Perfect. So let's just put this on. Again, I'm terrible with names, so you'll see why I need this. I'll just put it, no, actually, let's put it on here. That's better. Because this is kind of for you as well.
Thank you.
Okay? Wonderful. You're very welcome.
All right.
Okay, so the game. Now, I'd love everyone to be involved. So would everyone please stand up if you're able? So I'm going to toss the coin, and while the coin's in the air, you each make your choice. So heads or tails. If you want to choose heads, you put your hands on your head. To choose tails, you put your hands on your tail. Yes? Just your own tail, not somebody else's tail. Okay. So we'll have a practice round. And Bailey, you're going to be the judge. You're going to let the audience know how the coin lands, okay? Yes. So you don't have to trust me. We're going to trust Bailey, okay? Right. So so we'll have a practice round for everyone, okay? Just a practice round. First decision, try to make your choice while the coin is in the air, okay? Here we go. And up. So Bailey will call it however it lands.
Tails.
Tails. So everybody who chose tails would remain standing. Everybody who chose heads would sit down. Now you stand up again. That was just a practice round. You still have a chance. You still have a chance. Fantastic. Okay, this is for real. This is for real. Go with your first instinct. That's important. Try to make your choice while the coin is in the air. Okay? Ready? Here we go. And hop.
Tails.
Tails again. So everybody who chose tails would remain standing. Oh, we lost a lot of people. Head seems to be more popular. Okay, here we go. We're whittling down. We're whittling things down. Once again, and try to call it, make your choice while the coin's in the air. Here we go, and.
Tails.
Tails again. Tails again. Ooh, we lost one person, lost two people. A couple of people still standing over here. Wonderful. Here we go again. Make your choice. Ready, and hup.
Tails again.
Tails again. Tails again. Tails, tails. Wonderful. Ooh. Okay, tails is popular. Here we go. Once again, and up.
Tails.
Tails again. This hasn't come up tails this many times in the whole run of shows. So we're gonna keep going until we whittle it down to, we're gonna need to find one person, I think. Okay, so here we go. And hup.
Tails.
Tails again. You're all sticking with tails. Okay, some of you are going to have to mix up your choices or we're going to be here all night. Okay, here we go. And hup.
Heads.
Heads. Who's heads there? Oh, you stuck with tails. Sorry about that. Who have we got? Yeah, so one there. One, no, one here. Anybody? Two. We've got two left. Wonderful. Okay, here we go. Two left. Here we go. We're down to the final round here. And hup.
Tails.
Tails. Was it? Tails, your heads? Yeah. Sorry.
Yay.
Sorry. Is that the only one?
Yay.
Congratulations, the chosen one. What is your name?
Melissa.
Melissa, would you come up and join us on stage? A round of applause for Melissa. Melissa, thank you. Melissa, you appear to be the one whose destiny is entwined with my own. And that's nice. And this is why I need that. Bailey! That's why I needed that. Bailey, you have an envelope, yes?
I do.
It is a sealed envelope. You've been holding it since before we started the coin toss. I had a vision, a premonition some months ago that this person would be chosen by the toss of a coin. Bailey, would you open the envelope now?
All right.
Take out the paper you find inside. And would you open that up? I can take that for you.
Thank you.
Nice and loud and clear.
The winner of the coin toss, whose destiny is linked with my own, will be a man, a cause, or a woman. Yes, a woman. A woman from the west, somewhere near the sea.
Wait, where are you from?
Kintyre. Yes.
Standing in flowers.
Standing in flowers. Oh, kind of. Fish, seaweed, maybe.
Possibly gray hour? Gray hair.
Yeah.
Name begins with an N or an M.
Ooh.
P.S.
What
My
is your-
assistant has chosen at random. It will be Bailey.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for Bailey. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
Lovely. You can have your seat again, Bailey. Oh, Melissa, yes? Beginning with an N or an M. Melissa. So, it seems that you're going to play an important role for me later this evening. I'm very glad because you seem like a person that I can trust. I have a good feeling. I'm very glad. So, Melissa, I have a box here. I would like you to take this back to your seat with you. Please keep it safe. Don't open it. There is something slightly dangerous inside. It's not alive or anything like that. But it does play, it's important to my story, and it concerns something that I have to do later this evening. So please take care of that. A round of applause for Melissa. Thank you. So, fear has always had a presence in my life. And I think it's because somewhere inside myself, I've always been afraid that I might be a monster. I'm glad you find that funny. It's always bothered me. No, somewhere a cold-blooded creature of the night. And there's a reason for that, which I want to share with you this evening. But to tell this story, we're going to have to go back to my beginnings. It is me. I was born in Highland Park, Illinois, a suburb of Chicago, to a loving mother and father, and I've always loved to dress up, not only as monsters, but as lots of characters. This is this is me on my 4th birthday with my first girlfriend, Amy Plath. Me as some kind of a Christmas cowboy. I don't know why. I always loved Christmas. Santa Claus was a favorite costume. But Halloween was truly my night. I loved this mask. It was a truly scary mask. A witch, also magical creatures. I loved magical creatures. I had loads and loads of costumes. Loads of costumes. In fact, as far back as I can remember, I've always wanted to be someone other than myself. So naturally, I became an actor. In my first role in The Music Man in 8th grade, I was a pudgy little kid, nicknamed the Pacer after a Volkswagen car of the 1970s. I don't know if any of you remember. Its tagline was "Small but wide." When I was about 10 years old, my parents, 2 things happened that changed the course of my life. My parents took me to see Harry Blackstone Jr. at the Blackstone Theater in Chicago, named after his father, Harry Blackstone Sr., the Great Blackstone. He was one of the last great classical stage magicians. It was the first time that I'd seen magic on stage, and I loved it. That Christmas, there was a large present under the tree. I unwrapped it to find a mysterious black suitcase. Nothing at all on the box, no markings, no branding of any kind, unheard of today. It was a magic set. Blackstone Jr. followed in his father's footsteps, as children often do. It's hard to escape the influences in your blood. He retained his father's classical airs, but with a distinctly 1970s flair. He created an elegant world on stage in which the impossible could happen. But remember, this was the 1970s.
The cities and towns of
those were some of the tricks I received in that magic set that Christmas. Wonderful classic tricks like the multiplying balls and the linking rings. It was a wonderful set, very advanced for a 10-year-old. This is me in a park, dressed as a clown, again, annoying people in a park. And you can just make out the actual linking rings from that set. It was a wonderful, wonderful set. Now, my parents, they weren't from Chicago. My mother and father, they both grew up in New York, but they were from worlds that couldn't have been more opposite. My mother grew up in an upper-class family from upstate New York, and she was very at home in the high society world of the Upper East Side. My father was from downtown, from an Italian immigrant family on the Lower East Side. They met in the 1940s, and they were married in St. Patrick's Cathedral in Manhattan. This is them coming down the aisle, about to go off on honeymoon. I loved the clothes, the cars, beautiful. And this is my dad and his elder brother, Salvatore, my Uncle Sal. My father was one of 7 children. There was Vincenzo, Salvatore, Carmine, Josefina, Angelina, Antoinetta, and Giuseppe Joseph, my dad. His father, my grandfather, also Giuseppe, emigrated from Sicily after the First World War. He became a fruit seller. Now, if any of you have seen the film The Godfather, yes, Marlon Brando's character, Vito Corleone, is shot while buying fruit in Little Italy. That's what my grandfather did. Selling the fruit, not... Now, my father always said that his family never had anything to do with the mafia. My Sicilian family still live in New York, out on Long Island. Now, they're a typical, passionate Italian family. My father was different. He was the only one of his family to leave New York. In fact, it was his brother, Salvatore, who fronted him the money he needed to get out of New York and move to Chicago. Sal had won it in a card game. He was an excellent card player. And in fact, it was my Uncle Sal who taught me my first card tricks. My father and his brothers all loved to play cards. They were all good card players, but Sal was on a different level. And to illustrate this, I'm going to invite you back with me to a 1940s New York speakeasy, if you would, with the aid of a little bit of modern technology. Get this set up. That's pretty good. Are there any whiskey drinkers in the Ooh, this gentleman's raised his hand very quickly there. What is your name, sir? Alejandro. Alejandro, would you join me at the card table, please? Just give you a chair here. Any ladies enjoy a little dram? Over there, yes. What is your name? Yeah, you can finish your drink there and then... Carrie, come on up. Would you join me at the card table, please? Carrie, I have a chair for you over here as well. Here you go, Carrie. I hope not, Carrie, because the two of you are up here to be the close-up eyes of the audience. So I'm going to invite you both to watch me particularly closely. Now, hopefully most of you can see the card table, but for those of you in the less expensive seats, we do have the screen, so I hope that will be a help. So again, you're going to be the close-up eyes of the audience. Really watch me carefully, which is why I'm giving you some whiskey. So Alejandro.
Yes.
Carrie. Let's not be shy. Here we go. Wonderful. Okay. So my Uncle Sal was an excellent card player. He liked to play poker. So I know that, here you go. I know that in Scotland you'd say slange, but in Italy they would say salut.
Salute.
Salute. Salute. I'll put mine over there. Yeah, we're going to be here for a little while, so you can pace yourselves. So Sal was an excellent card player. He liked to play poker. Do either of you play poker? You don't have to. We're not going to play poker, but you play. Good. Excellent. So I want you to know what's going on here. So yeah, Sal was good. And Sal would play with his Lower East Side friends. Now, I don't want to insinuate anything, but some of his friends in Little Italy may have been connected. If you know what I mean. I'm not going to say it. I don't know it. My father always said his family never had anything to do with the mafia, but you know. You never know. So, he'd be playing, and these are going to get shuffled, and this is where I want you to watch me quite closely. I'm not as good as Sal, but I'm going to give this a try tonight. I'm going to shuffle those again. Okay. So, they would have been playing poker all evening. There would be a big pot of money in the middle of the table at the end of the evening. You can see this here. And which Sal would usually have won. Yeah? And then he'd pretend to be generous. He'd say, all right, I tell you what, we cut for high card. We cut for high card. Now, Carrie, do you know what cutting for high card means? Yeah, you know that. You know what cutting for high card means? You know what cutting the deck means? Yeah? So we're all going to cut the deck. Whoever gets the highest card wins. Very simple. So, Carrie, would you cut the deck, please? Watch your... Perfect. Excellent. Let's see what you got. Ooh, not bad. That's not bad, Carrie. Not bad. I was going to even let you look there, but you don't really need to. I'll let you look. Yeah, okay, the queen, obviously. She may have you beat there, Alejandro. I'll let you cut the deck. Cut the deck. Perfect. Let's see what you got. An 8. I'm going to let you look there, too. But it looks like, so far, Carrie has got you beat. So my Uncle Sal, and you know you can cut the pack wherever you like. You can cut it really, really deep. You can cut it in the middle, where most people do. You can cut really shallow. You can cut where you like. Now, Sal would always say that he would get a tingling in his fingers for the good cards. For the good cards. So he would always take a little sip of his whiskey. Salute. Salute. Now you cut a queen, but it wouldn't really matter if you had cut a king, because he would always reach into the pack and he would always cut an ace. He would, thank you. I don't know how he did it, and I don't know how he did it, but he would always cut an ace. Now, this really infuriated his Lower East Side, friends, as you can imagine. And this is where I want you to watch carefully, because Sal would cut the deck, and this is really getting shuffled in there. I hope you can see this on the camera. He was a better shuffler than I, but he would shuffle, he would cut, he would shuffle again. Carrie, those are getting shuffled, getting mixed together there. He would do that, he would cut, and then he would do something a little bit fancier. I'm not as good as him, I'm going to give it a try. He'd do something called a faro shuffle, which is a fancier form of a riffle shuffle, but it's still a riffle shuffle. There's one nice thing about it. If I can get it, I'll show you. So he would, see if I can get this. Again, I'm not as good as him, as he was. Not bad, not bad. You can really see that the cards, you can really see that they're getting shuffled. He would do that. He would cut. He would take his hands completely off the pack. No breaks or anything in the pack. He'd have a little sip of his whiskey. Salute, salute, salute. He would reach into the pack and he would dead cut. Salute. Thank you. Cheers. Cheers. He would dead cut to an ace. Now, notice that if he got one card less, or indeed one card more, he wouldn't get an ace. And again, like I said, this infuriated his Lower East Side friends there. They thought that it was in his shuffling. They thought it was in his shuffling. They thought that when he shuffled, that was it, that he would glimpse an ace. And his fingers were sensitive enough to feel how many cards fell after the ace, and then be able to cut to them. Now, that's an incredible skill. I can't do that. I'm not as good as him. But he could cut to any number of cards he wanted. That's what they thought. So let's say he wanted to cut 10 cards. He could reach into the pack, and he'd be able to cut exactly 10 cards. I may be off by one. I'm not as good as him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm off by one. I'm off by one. But he could do that reliably any day of the week, and he could really hit any number he wanted, supposedly. Once again, as the aces come out of the pack, the next ace gets harder and harder to find. So he would take his hands away. There's no breaks in the deck there. Yes? He would have a little sip of his whiskey. Salute. 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 He would reach into the pack and he would dead cut to an ace. To an ace. Again, I don't know how he did it. One card less or one card more, and he wouldn't get an ace. Then he would do something that I found just to be a little bit ostentatious. A little bit ostentatious. He would say, all right, give me a number between 1 and 52. Any number between 1 and 52. I'll shuffle the pack twice, and I'll put the last ace at that number. I know. I can't do that. I can't do that, honestly. So I'm going to have to use magic. Okay. So Alejandro, yes. I'm going to. I do want you to think of a number. Don't say it out loud. Let's say a number somewhere between 10 and 40. So it's not too close to the top or the bottom of the pack. And I want you to think of, like, it could be 18, something like that. I mean, I'm not trying to suggest you should think of anything else, but if you were thinking of 18, you don't have to change. I'm not trying to influence you in any way. Okay? Do you have a number in your mind?
Yes.
Somewhere between 10 and 40?
Yes.
Yes? Good. I want you to picture that number right up here. Really try to visualize it. Perfect. You can look a little more towards me. Perfect. But visualize the number. I am going to shuffle the pack, and you can watch me closely, Carrie. I am going to shuffle the pack twice. Perfect. That's great. Really visualize that number. Keep thinking of it. And so, yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Good. Keep thinking. I get one more shuffle. Right. Okay. So that's good. Okay, that's good. I think yes. I think I got it. So Alejandro, you were thinking of a number. I did shuffle the pack twice, but you've never said that number out loud, right? So for the first time, Alejandro, what was the number you were thinking of?
22.
Not 18?
No. 22.
You weren't thinking of 18 at first, and you changed your mind because
No, 22.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. 22. Okay. 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll go slow. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You can still change your mind if you like. No? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 is what you wanted. Yes? You're sticking with that.
Yes. I know.
I knew you would. I'm glad that I could count on you, Alejandro, because that is where I put the last ace. I'm glad you stuck with what you were thinking of, Alejandro. And I do want you to know that those are the only aces in the pack. Have a look.
Sure, yeah.
Salute! As long as we have the aces out, I do want to show you one more thing that Sal loved. He was a good card magician, obviously, as you can see, and he was delighted when he found out that I was interested in magic. In fact, I think that he may have had something to do with that mysterious suitcase at Christmas. This wasn't the first card trick that he taught me, but it was one of his favorites. And he wouldn't teach me for years. I had to earn it. I think I was about 17 when he finally showed me this. It uses the 4 aces. You can see these on the camera. It uses the 4 aces. And it uses, I'm going to get rid of these for now. It uses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 other cards. So, Carrie, would you hang on to those for me? Just take care of those. Now, it's just tradition. I don't know why it uses 12 other cards, but that's always how he did it. And traditionally, the aces would be dealt onto the table face down. He wouldn't do it. They would be dealt face down. He didn't like to do that. He said the aces were important, so he liked to deal them face up. He said everybody has to watch the aces. It's the aces that are important. And he would deal 3 other cards, are we getting this? Yes, onto each of the aces. But he always said the aces are important. You need to keep your eyes on the aces. In fact, I'm going to make it a little bit easier for you, particularly for the camera. We'll do this. Because I want you to watch the aces. That's what he would always say. It's the aces that are important. Okay, Carrie? So he would usually start with a red one, and he had a magic move. He would say, keep your eyes on the aces. The aces are face up. The other cards are face down. Yes? He would do his move slowly at first, but then progressively faster. And Alejandro, he would count. Yes, he would count. 1, 2, 3, 4. But they're face down. If they're face down, they are not aces. They're not aces. Now, remember the situation that we're in, Carrie. We've got 1, 2, 3 cards and an ace. An ace and 1, 2, 3 cards. He would do his move a little bit faster this time, each time a little bit faster. And he would count, Carrie, yes? 1, 2, 3, 4. But they're face down. If they're face down, it means that they're not aces. They're not aces. I tell you what, we'll try to make it a little bit easier. We'll do these face up. This is a little bit untraditional. I don't know if it's easier or not. We've got an ace and 1, 2, 3 cards. 1, 2, 3 cards and an ace. I have to remember to do this slowly for the camera here. This is a little bit different. He put the ace among the other cards. I'll show it to you one more time. He would count 4, 3, 2, 1. The ace is the 3rd card. You can still see it. Face up. Watch closely. Now, this is a little bit different because the 3rd card is still face up. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just no longer an ace. It's no longer an ace. In fact, the ace is nowhere to be found. Now, thank you. He would always say that the last ace, the ace of spades, is the most important ace in the pack. It's got the name of the pack on it in most decks. This happens a little bit differently. He would say, this one doesn't disappear. It's the important ace because birds of a feather flock together, and that's where the aces have been. Thank you very much. A round of applause for Carrie and Alejandro, my vigilant assistants here. Thank you. So that was one of his favorite tricks. I love sharing that with people. He would do that at Christmas all the time. It was a wonderful, wonderful way to see him do it. I do it okay, but he did it. He was fantastic. Now, my father and his brother were total opposites, Sal and my father. My Uncle Sal was engaging. He had a wonderful smile. He made you laugh. He had that warm, gregarious Italian nature, passionate, exuberant, and loud. My father was different. He was quiet, and he kept to himself. They grew up in Little Italy on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. And just here, at the corner of First Avenue and East Houston Street, right here, this little white square, that was a building that they grew up in. It still stands today. Now, just blocks away on Mulberry Street was the Ravenite Social Club. Anyone ever hear of the Ravenite? No. The Ravenite Social Club was founded in 1926 by Charles Lucky Luciano. And it was the headquarters of first the Lucchese and then the Gambino crime families. John Gotti was arrested outside the Ravenite Social Club in 1985 or 86. But my father always said that his family had nothing to do with the mafia. Now, in the 1940s in New York, there was a famous, or rather infamous, assassin at work, known only as the Knife. Bodies would turn up on Staten Island, in the East River, never on the Lower East Side. And this was a paradox of the Italian nature that I could never understand. On the one hand, emotional, passionately family-oriented, and on the other hand, the cold, emotionless brutality of the Sicilian mafia. How could these two natures exist side by side? And I have to say, it reminded me of my Uncle Sal and my father. Now, don't get me wrong, my father was also a nice guy. It was lovely to see him smile. But he had another side, a colder, emotionless side. And I could imagine this side being able to be a cold-blooded killer. I've always wondered about these two natures in myself. I'm an actor. I meet a lot of people. People tell me I have a lovely smile. People say I'm a nice guy. But the people who know me well, the people closest to me, know that I'm an asshole. I'm going to need another volunteer. Sir, what's your name?
Fraser.
Fraser, would you come up and help me? A round of applause for Fraser, please. Fraser, just over here. Just there, Fraser. Can you get the cards again, Fraser? Wonderful, Fraser. I'm going to give these a little mix-up. Take a little step back there, Fraser, for a moment. I'm going to give these a little mix-up, and I'd like you to mix them. Will you shuffle the cards any way you like? Probably this way is good, just so we don't bend the cards too much, or you can use the table, whatever you like. But give those a little
Very good
mix-up.
at shuffling
That's
cards,
okay.
Bob.
However you want. It's very nerve-wracking to shuffle cards, especially with people watching. So whatever you like, just give them a little mix-up. Now, the Knife was never caught. And if you had a contract out on your life, you'd never know it until it was too late. So, Fraser, this is going to take place in Little Italy, and we're going to do this. Good?
Yeah.
That's fine, as long as you're happy. That's okay. And you're going to be a little resident of Little Italy for this story, okay? Happy with that? So, Fraser, I'm going to cut the cards, and I would like you to cut the cards as well. So, you know, but not like that, Fraser.
Okay.
Not like that. No, I would like you to cut the cards.
Okay.
Okay? So, Fraser, in a moment, I'm going to give you this knife. Please be careful. And I'd like you to very gently just slide the knife anywhere you like into the pack of cards, just like that, and leave it just like that. Yeah? Something like that, okay? Please do be careful. It is extremely sharp. It is extremely sharp, okay? So do take your time anywhere you like, but please do be careful, Fraser, okay? You let me know when you're done.
It's done.
Wonderful. Lovely. Nicely done, Fraser. Nicely done. So, the Knife has selected a card. Yes? Fraser, I'm going to turn around again, and I would like you to take that card where you cut, and you cut wherever you like, yes? Yes? And I'm also going to give you this. So take your card, look at it, memorize it, show it to everybody. And I'd like to do, this is a little clicky Sharpie, and I'd like you to write your name or draw something on the face of your card. Not on the back, but on the face of your card. Anything you like. You can sign it, you can do whatever you like, okay? When I'm turned around. So you've got to click the Sharpie. There. Let's put this away. I wouldn't want anyone to get hurt. Take your time, Fraser. Make sure you show it to everybody.
Okay, it's done.
All done?
Should I just put it back in the bag?
Yeah, put it back on where you got it. Perfect. You can leave the Sharpie there. Now, I saw some of those cards, so I will mix these up a little bit. Very good. So, Fraser, that card that you signed, chosen by the knife, that represents you. Okay? And this story does take place in Little Italy. You're a resident in Little Italy. Perhaps you live in a brownstone there. And one spring morning, you're in bed, tucked up in bed in your brownstone. You wake up, it's a nice day. You decide to go for a walk. And unbeknownst to you, maybe the day before, maybe longer, maybe you rubbed someone the wrong way. Stepped on someone's toes. Maybe the wrong someone. So, you get out of bed, Fraser. You're going to go for a walk through the neighborhood. This takes place in Little Italy. So we're going to set up Little Italy here on the card table. This is the corner of Houston Street and Stanton Street. We'll get a few more cards there. This is Mott Street and Houston. This is Elizabeth Street and, of course, Mulberry Street over there. So you're going to go out for a walk. So let's walk nice all the way around the card table here. Let's go this way. Really use the space there. Really go for a walk there. Going for a walk. And yeah, keep going all the way around there. Nice and big, all the way out to the sides here. Yes, he's going for enjoying the day. But you start to feel that maybe something's a little bit off. Like maybe you're being watched or followed. But you turn around, but nobody's there. Nobody's there. And you keep walking, Fraser. But it's unsettling. But you keep walking. You decide to head home. Unsettling feeling. You decide to head home. You turn a corner. Hand me one of the packs, Fraser. Any pack you'd like. Perfect. You turn the corner onto Mott Street, and you keep walking. Fraser. You turn another corner. Hand me another pack. Any pack you like. Perfect. And you keep walking. You turn another corner. You hand me another pack. Anyone you want. Perfect. Onto Stanton Street. Almost home. Getting really paranoid now. You turn the last corner. You hand me the last pack. Perfect. And you get back to your building. Really paranoid now. You run up the stairs. You fumble with the lock. You slam the door behind you. Breathing hard. You're really freaked out. You jump back into bed. Safety at last. You fall into a fitful sleep, but somehow you can't shake a growing feeling of dread growing within you. You wake up during the night. The air feels oppressive. You toss and you turn. Every sound seems amplified. Several times you feel like you hear the doorknob turning and the lock clicking in the door. You wake up in the morning feeling completely like you haven't slept at all. Red eyes, totally unrested, freaked out. You can't shake that growing feeling of dread. You can't be alone. You drag yourself out of bed. You decide to go to Coney Island. You take the subway. To lose yourself in the crowds of people. Mix up all the cards all over the table. Remind me of your name. Fraser. I'm so sorry. I'm terrible with names. Fraser. You mix them. Really use the whole table. Coney Island is a famous amusement park. You ride the roller coaster, the bumper cars. You stay there all afternoon into the evening. Finally, night falls once again. Well, make this a little bit harder. Finally, you begin to breathe a little bit more easily, feeling with a sense of anonymity in the crowds of people, in the crowds of people there. Okay. Finally, you breathe easy. You even feel a little bit foolish. You even feel a little bit foolish. You can't shake this feeling. You laugh at yourself at the absurdity. And it's at that moment that the knife would strike. I told you it was sharp. In these matters, there's sometimes a little collateral damage. Am I a nice, friendly guy? Or do I have the cold-blooded nature of a killer? Fraser, that's for you. Thank you very much. A round of applause for Fraser. But does this confirm my childhood fears? Am I a cold-blooded creature of the night? Do I have that strain of Sicilian blood in my veins? Strangely, in the later 1940s, the knife's killings stopped. Just about the time my father left New York. And this was a source of concern to me. But of course, my father always insisted he had nothing to do with the mafia. Later in his life, my father did make a confession to me. He let me know that his brother, Salvatore, my jovial, fun-loving Uncle Sal, had actually been an assassin for one of the 5 families in New York. A nice, good-natured guy, like me. A good fella. And this suddenly made sense to me why Sal had given my father that money to get him out of New York. He didn't want his little brother involved in that life. My Uncle Sal. I think this might have been the dark secret I always sensed in my dad. This is my father and me in the North Woods of Wisconsin. Our family would always go camping every summer in the North Woods for holidays. And there was a tradition that my brothers had. They would, while my father was unpacking the tent, they would go find sticks in the woods and sharpen them to use as tent pegs. Now, about the time that I was getting into Halloween and magic, I begged my father, please, let me carve the stakes for the tent. Finally, he relented, and he gave me his knife. I was so happy. I went into the woods, I found the perfect sticks, I sharpened them to deadly points. Now the North Woods of Wisconsin, they get dark very quickly when the sun sets, and my imagination went wild. I fancied myself a vampire hunter with my wooden stakes. And as I was running back to the campsite, I tripped and fell, and one of the stakes spiked my hand. It didn't go all the way through, but it was very bloody. And I felt a familiar twinge of fear in my stomach. Am I a monster? Do I deserve a stake through the hand, heart? It made sense to my 8-year-old self. All my life, this fear has gotten in my way. It's kept me from taking necessary leaps of faith into the unknown. And I've decided that it stops tonight. Melissa, you have a box. Would you join me on stage once again?
With the book.
With the box, please. It's important to my story. We'll get some of this stuff out of the way. Thank you very much. A round of applause for Melissa. Turn this way a little bit so everybody can see you. Perfect. Would you please just gently open the box, Melissa? Now, it's not a tent peg. Open the box. It's not a tent peg, but it is a pretty big spike. There's 6 or 7 inch nail there. Now, Melissa, would you carefully just hold the nail there? And with your other hand, just gently tap your palm on the top. That's sharp.
Yeah.
It's pointy.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's a steel nail. Pretty, yeah, steel nail. That's good. You
Yep.
can let it go. You can let go now. It's all right. It's a steel nail. Yes.
Yep, definitely.
Okay. Perfect. I also have some bags here. You may know where we're going with this. So, Melissa, inside the bags, I have 2 little steps so everybody can see you here. I've got some blocks of wood.
Right.
Blocks of wood in the bag. And the nail is going to go through the block of wood. Yes, just so that it can stand up like this. Perfect. Now, I will let some of you see this as well. Sir, would you hold your hand out like that and just slam your hand down? Don't slam it down on it. But just tap that with your hand gently. That's sharp, yes?
Yes, it is.
Would you like to just give that a little feel? It's sharp, yes. It's a sharp nail. So I know what it feels like to get spiked in the hand. And now, it's a stupid analogy, slamming my hand down on a spike. It's a stupid analogy, but it's the logic of my 8-year-old self. And it's my childhood fears that I'm exercising. So I need to exercise this demon of fear within me, Melissa, and it doesn't work unless it's real. So there are plenty of examples of this on YouTube that you can find going wrong, even for Darren Brown. It's not pretty. You can look it up. So it is a stupid thing to do, but again, it needs to be real. So Melissa, this is a steel nail. It is going to go into one of these paper bags. Now, Melissa, I don't want you to know or to be able to tell which bag that spike is in. So the other bags also have inside them, they have blocks of wood. So they weigh about the same. So when you pick them up, hopefully you're not going to be able to tell which bag has the nail. So right now we all know where the spike is. Melissa, would you go by the door over there and close your eyes? Face away from me and close your eyes. Perfect. So I'm going to mix up these bags. So now, hopefully, you don't know where the spike is. And to tell you the truth, I'm slightly confused. So, Melissa, will you come back? So very carefully, Melissa, I'm going to turn around, and would you, because there is a sharp object involved, so just take the bags like this and just carefully swap the positions of the bags as you like, okay? And let me know when you're done. All right, I'm going to turn around over here.
Okay.
Okay. Wonderful. So, Melissa, my leap of faith, no, stay here. My leap of faith, and I want these to look all the same here. My leap of faith is to put my trust in you. All you need to do is to trust yourself. You followed your instinct. You won the coin toss. So follow your instinct, please. That's important. I have to say, actually, Assembly Festival would not allow me to do this challenge tonight unless I made this announcement. So Assembly Festival Limited in no way bears any liability for anything that might happen tonight, any accident or injury. Full and total responsibility lies completely with Melissa. No, I'm just kidding. It lies with me. It lies with me. So, Melissa, I need to do this. I've been having a date with Destiny for a long time. So, Melissa, will you number the bags? 1, 2, 3, 4, starting at either side you want.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes? Trust your instinct. First number that comes into your head, that's important. Please give me the number of a bag that you feel is safe.
3.
That was good. I like that. That was fast. 3, 1, 2, 3. This one's safe. Yes?
Yeah.
What do you mean? 3. 3 is safe? That's your choice? Sorry. I know that one night this is going to go wrong. Okay. Okay, that's good. Thank you. Yes. Okay, Melissa, I'm growing some confidence with you. We've got 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4. The number of a bag you feel is safe. You're doing well. First instinct, Melissa. Now, 1. 1 is safe.
1 safe.
1's. Okay. Thank you. Okay, we've got 2 and 4, Melissa. 2 and 4. As the number of bags go down, the percentages go up. It's 50-50 now, Melissa. The bag that's safe, 2 or 4.
2.
Melissa, thank you very much. I knew that I chose the right person. I had to stay. Yes, stay up here, Melissa, because you're happy. I have exercised this demon of fear with your help, Melissa. Thank you. Give me a little hug here, Melissa. Thank you very much. Round of applause for Melissa, please. Thank you all so much for coming tonight and allowing me to share my story with you. It's fantastic. I do feel like I've exercised that demon of fear, and I feel like my father would be proud. Thank you very much. And thank you so much for coming. Have a great evening.
From his slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise, he did the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. He did the monster mash. From my laboratory in the castle east to the master bedroom where the vampires feast, the ghouls all came from their humble abodes to get a jolt from my electrodes. They did the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a